everybody. Hi, it's Becky from PowerToolsWithThread.com. That's my blog. I wanted to make this video today because yesterday I made a little Valentine mug rug. We're getting on time for Valentine's this week. And so I went ahead and did this. This is what's called an in the hoop embroidery project. And I want to tell you all, you know, I hear from so many of you that since you've started watching this channel that you are overcoming your fear of your embroidery machine, and I think that's just fabulous. It's just a sewing machine. It just does a little few things different, that's all. So if you're used to a sewing machine, you can certainly handle this. And it's not just because of me. It also takes you to get it out of the box and to read the book and to figure out how it works and whatnot. So I'm just happy to be here to help you guys along the way. So I wanted to go ahead and do a tutorial for this adorable mug rug. This is a Kimberbell product, and Kimberbell is a company out of Logan, Utah, and they specialize in the most adorable embroidery in the hoop projects. I wanted to give you a little bit of philosophy. This is Becky's philosophy about machine embroidery. One of you made a comment and said that you were new to embroidery, and one of the first projects that you did was on clothing, and you ended up putting holes in it. Most of us are of an age where we had home ec in junior high, remember that? And when it came to the sewing part, our very first projects were either a pillowcase or an apron or maybe an A-line skirt, something like that. As we progressed, we got into more and more projects. I really think that when you first start doing machine embroidery, jumping into clothing would be like as if your home ec teacher gave you a project to do a lined blazer. You know, clothing is its own animal when it comes to machine embroidery. And you really need to have a firm grasp of the nuances of your machine. And it's just like, I mean, even if you have a sewing and embroidery combo machine, sewing, you are in control of the speed and you're in control of how the fabric moves and all that. When you turn it into and go into the embroidery module, you know, it's a whole new ball game, okay? And think about it like when you buy a new car. You know how to drive a car, right? But when you first get in it and take it for a test drive, the brakes are a little different and the acceleration is a little bit different. And there's a whole new load of buttons that you got to figure out now to connect your phone and make all that work, right? So that it's that same concept. You got the idea, you know what you're doing with sewing, but you're getting ready to jump into machine embroidery. And so it is different. So when you first start with machine embroidery, I highly recommend run over to Walmart or Target or somewhere and get yourself a package of cloth baby diapers. That is the very best thing to start on, in my opinion, because they're fairly lint-free, okay? If you mess it up, you've got a great car rag, and if you're successful, you've got a cute gift for a burp towel, you know, for a shoulder cover, or, you know, whatever you want to do. Once you master, and you can do, I like those because they've got a little thickness to them, which kind of resembles batting. So you could, that's going to give you a firm foundation to start doing applique or embroidery projects for quilts. And so once you get past that, jump into towels. I can't tell y'all how many fails I have in my kitchen towel drawer because I, made mistakes all along the way. Most of them are successes now. Some are still not, and I've been doing this a long time. But you want to start with those projects. Now, one of the very first foundational things you put into a hoop is what? Stabilizer. Well, what kind of stabilizer? How do you know what kind of stabilizer? Well, you can go out on the internet and look, but I have one of these. This is called an Embroiderer's Compass, and this is by Designs in Machine Embroidery. I got this a long time ago, and I use it all the time. I'll put a link to it in the description box below, But this thing is awesome. It's got Deborah Jones's picture on it. She's an icon in the machine embroidery industry. I'm on the other side of my long arm if you can't tell. But I love this because let's say you wanted to embroider on a sweatshirt. So you just turn this little knob, see the arrow? You just turn that to whatever it is that you want to embroider on. So let's go to sweatshirt. And then right here in this window, it'll tell you stabilizer is no-show mesh or medium cutaway, water-soluble, topping is optional. And then right here, it'll give you the needle sizes. And down here, it will have comments and it'll tell you what you need to do. And so this side has some fabrics and some garments, and this side has all different kinds of fabrics. So you can you can use each one. And y'all, it's got fleece, it's got knits bulky, it has sheer fabric opaque, sheer fabric transparent. This is like an encyclopedia of fabrics and whatnot and stabilizers. And to this day, I reach for it almost every time that I'm going to start an embroidery project where it's not like a kit, okay? So that brings me to the other thing. If you guys are brand new to embroidery, so I've said you really ought to try baby diapers first, cloth baby diapers, not the plastic ones, guys. Cloth baby diapers, dish towels. I also recommend, if you're just starting out and you want a cute project, go ahead and get yourself a project that is pre-designed for you. So this project is Kimberbell's, it's a Holiday and Seasonal Mug Rugs Volume 1. I'll link to it below as well. I think you can get this on Amazon. And here is that cute little scrappy heart mug rug. All right, that's what this turned out to be. Kimberbell is known throughout the industry as one of the best of providing instructions, step-by-step instructions with detailed color photos. They're very, very good at this. And these also will come with the cutting files. If you have a cutting machine, whether it's a Cricut or a Silhouette or a Scan and Cut like I have, for applique projects, you can cut the fabric using the machine instead of having to put your fabric in the hoop, do the tack down, pull the hoop, and then trim around, okay? It just makes life a little bit easier. So I'm going to do that in this demo. You can see how easy it is to use those if you have a cutting machine. So I get a lot of questions about what kind of machine should you buy for an embroidery machine. Again, this is Becky's philosophy, okay? I started with a Brother PE 770, which is an embroidery only machine, and it was a 5x7 hoop. So embroidery machines come with, and it doesn't matter if it's an embroidery or embroidery and sewing combo, the embroidery module in those combo machines, all embroidery machines, come with a maximum hoop size. And that maximum hoop size is going to limit what kind of designs that you can use in that machine. So if you have a machine that only goes to a 4x4 hoop size, which is very common, you're not going to be able to make any of these cute little mug rugs because you need a minimum of a 5x7 hoop in order to be able to do these. It is my philosophy that you never buy an embroidery machine that has a hoop that is smaller than a 5x7. As you go along and you embroider more and more and more and you get better and better, you're going to quickly outgrow that machine and you'll be really sorry that you spent the money on it. That's just my opinion. I am so glad I did not start with a 4x4 because look where I'm at now. I love using the Brother Luminaire that I have on loan from all brands, and I can use that 10x16 hoop. That thing's huge, all right? I also actually upgraded from my 5x7 to the Brother Quattro. This one's mine. I got it on Craigslist, and it has a maximum size of 9x14. And because it has the upgrade kit in it and all that, it's almost identical to the Dream machine. It's got 2 upgrade kits in it. There is so much technology in these machines. It's absolutely incredible what they can do. I prefer the brand of Brother because I like the interface that Brother has To me, it's all very user-friendly. Some people prefer Bernina. I know Joy has Bernina embroidery and Brother embroidery. She prefers the Brother, she has a Baby Lock Solaris, which Baby Lock and Brother are made in the same they're separate companies, but they're made by in the same manufacturing plant and share the same technology. So the Brother Luminaire and the Baby Lock Solaris are almost identical, except for the color of the casing, as far as I can tell. So Joy prefers her Bernina for garment sewing. So you might have a Pfaff, you might have a Bernina, you might have a Singer embroidery machine. There are all different flavors out there. I personally prefer the Brother interface that's on these. I also have a Janome 7 needle. Not a fan of the interface. It's a real workhorse and it will certainly knock out commercial products, but for single needle embroidery, I prefer the Brother. Now, I wish we would have gotten the Brother 10 needle, but I wasn't in on that purchase. The other thing is if you are in the market for an embroidery machine. So number one is don't buy a machine that has less than a 5x7 hoop. If all you can afford is a 4x4 hoop, save your money and buy a 5x7. Look on Craigslist. There are plenty of sites out there. There are used machines that you can get. I have a post on my blog about buying used embroidery machines, and it tells you all those things that you need to look out for. So I'll link to that post below, and you can take a look at it if you're in the market for buying a used machine. There's nothing wrong with them at all. Usually there's not. The other piece of advice I have is never get an embroidery machine that does not have a USB port. There are a lot of older machines out there on the market that use a giant card and a card reader. There are a lot of machines out on the market that require this card reader. It has a USB connector that will go to your computer, okay? And it requires this card right here. The Brother Luminaire does not have a port for this card, okay? But the Luminaire is very new. This is a Quattro. This Brother Quattro is 11 or 12 years old. It doesn't have a port for this size card. So if you have, this is your only method of getting embroidery designs to your machine, you're stuck. You need a machine that has a USB port. Both of these have USB ports. So I can copy design files from a DVD to a USB and put them into the machine, or I can download designs that I buy from the internet and put them to a USB and move it over to my machine, but I can't use this. Another thing, this particular device, this reader, this Brother card reader, my Windows 10 machine doesn't even see it. So the technology in this is so old that this is a paperweight. I can't use this. And I gave it away to somebody who claimed it during my sewing room tour video that I did a couple weeks ago. But see, that's the thing. So you want to be sure if you're shopping for a machine, let's say you go out on eBay and you're looking at a machine and you get to look at all sides of it, you need to make sure that you can use a USB stick in this, okay? This one's got 2 USB ports. You need to make sure that your machine can take USB. If you can't, again, you're going to be stuck trying to get, first of all, your computer may not even read this thing that it comes with. It'll probably come with this reader. If it doesn't have a USB, it'll probably come with some kind of card reader. Your computer won't be able to see the card reader because the technology is too old. So I think the last time I was able to use that thing was on Windows 7. That's not even supported anymore. What if your computer's too new? Or if your computer dies and you get a new computer, now you're stuck. Now you can't use your embroidery machine anymore. So again, a piece of advice number 2, always get a machine that has a USB port. That way you can continue to expand and move things into your machine. Unless you get this big dog over here that takes it wirelessly. So that's the beauty. Technology keeps moving on and your software continues to evolve. The embroidery software continues to evolve to be able to do that. I love how I can move designs from Embrilliance. Embrilliance is on the ball. They made an update and you can wirelessly send designs from Embrilliance to the Luminaire or the Baby Lock Solaris. So, oh, that brings another question. What's Embrilliance? Embrilliance is a software program that is designed for machine embroidery. It's no different than Bernina's, except that it's a fraction of the cost. It's no different than Brothers PE Design 11, except that it's a fraction of the cost. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking those software. Sometimes you'll get that software included when you buy a high-end machine. Embrilliance is a fabulous software program. You don't have to have it, but it sure makes life easy. And you can import designs into it. You can resize them. It will redigitize. You can add lettering. You can do all kinds of stuff with Embrilliance. And Embrilliance is, I think it's less than $150 for Embrilliance Essentials. And that is the basic software. I have used that for years. I don't have Brother PE 11. Would I like it? Sure. Do I want to pay over $1,000 for it? No, I do not. So I actually have added on multiple modules in Embrilliance into my software, and I have all the way up to Stitch Artist 1. I don't know why. It was on sale and I bought it, but I certainly don't need it because I'm not a digitizer. I pretty much get what I get. You know, I get what I get out of these, or I get what I get off the internet, and I will put it in there. I might add a name or something to it, but for the most part, I'm not much of a digitizer. That's not my thing. In the next part of this video, we are going to do that cute little mug rug, and I'm going to take you step by step on how to do it, okay? I hope you guys enjoy this. If I don't see you again, go sew something. Bye.